So I haven't found the definitive proof that this car fire was a plasma fire in the way that I have the other one. But all of these burnt shrubs here are definitely all plasma fire. I'm almost to the point where I don't even know what to show you anymore to show you how I know this is plasma fire. The burn-unburn patterns. So all these little shrubs just in this circle right here, around to right here, are plasma burnt stumps. Along with these are all plasma burnt pieces of whatever you call that, shrubbery, sagebrush. So all of these are definitely plasma fire, hit with plasma fire. But I cannot say for sure that the car that burned over here and left all that rubble right there, I'm gonna just go show you here in just a second, was hit by plasma fire, or at least not the same plasma fire. Because this type of evidence is everywhere, and I mean everywhere. So just because I found plasma fire evidence here in this little circle of shrubs, here in these, that don't necessarily mean this car fire 50 feet away was a plasma fire, because the plasma fire evidence is literally everywhere I look. And I can't find 100% proof here. See the unburned stripe? There was one other piece that I noticed that seemed like it could be indicative, but overall, what I'm looking for is the other one had these burnt shrubs where the middle of it is turned to ash and the outer weeds around the outer edge of the shrub are still standing, and it's like that on every shrub. Here's a patch, here's a patch, here's a patch, here's another one, here's another one. They grow in patches. The middle of the patch will be turned to ash, the outer weeds still remain. The other telltale sign is this tire. Look how it's identically burnt to the other tire. Plasma fires typically turn tires to that. Nothing left but the steel belts of the radial, because these steel belts act like little antennae and turn the tire to dust. But you notice there's one spot left on both of these tires. That means they burn fairly unevenly. 0 right here, 100% from there all the way around back to the other side. And it replicates the same pattern on this other tire. Oh, never mind. There's the proof that it's plasma fire. Because normal fire does not melt aluminum. In 2017, this is what we saw running down the roads of California after the first round of fires there near Sacramento. And I saw the reporters going and picking up pieces of molten metal that had dried, that had ran down the road. Rivets of liquid metal ran down the road and then dried like this. And a reporter goes and picks one up and says, yeah, the fire's around here, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. But this was a common result. So, I think there's my proof. And the only reason I stopped is because I'm guessing these are going to happen a lot more often, considering I just put up the video today with a report about 3 military vehicles caught fire in Utah in the last week. If they weren't military vehicles, you wouldn't have heard about it. So how many civilian vehicles do you think have caught fire in Utah in the last week that you just didn't hear about? The only reason you heard about the military ones is because there's mandatory reports that are made on those, along with people that investigate and are required to forward those reports onto investigative journalists, because there's a file where that kind of stuff is kept. How many civilian automobiles do you think have been plasma fired in the last week if we heard about 3 military vehicles? Probably quite a few. So my point is, I don't see the perfect evidence, unless you can say that aluminum sometimes melts in a regular car fire, and that the plasma fire over here around the periphery, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 steps away, maybe this plasma fire had nothing to do with that carbeque, but this is definitely plasma fire, all of these. Here's a good example. If I can just snap it off, there we go. I'm not sure how well you're able to see the burned stripe going up this side where my finger is. Burned stripe going up there. Unburned. Let's maybe try and get the sun working with us a little bit better. So I can see that burned stripe going up this side, and I hope you can too. Right here it's most visible, but the burn unburned line goes right there. Burn on the right, unburned on the left. And all of these shrubs look like this. I can spot plasma fire. I'm not gonna try and convince any of you anymore. I'm telling you, these are plasma fired shrubs. This is melted metal. Oh, and I just broke part of it. And that's a plasma fired carbeque, but I don't have the exact direct evidence right there in the pile. All I have is this kind of stuff 10 feet away. But you can see with that, it's burnt on the two ends. Ooh. Burnt on the ends, not in the middle. And I was making a video just earlier today where I said that's how it happens. The electromagnetics come into the log that's laying on the ground and go out the ends. So I have a feeling that I'm gonna start seeing a lot more of these roadside car fires, and people are like, well, you know, sometimes cars just catch fire. That's a natural part of cars, is that they just catch fire, and trees just normally burn from the inside out. I think you're gonna start seeing a lot more of this. So I'm gonna just cut this video right here unless I can find something else. So here's at least three. There's one tire that matches the same exact burn pattern. Completely gone from that point over to there. My screen's got so much dust on it. But as you can see, rubber's gone, rubber's untouched. Same pattern, we've got three of these. One there. One there. And one here. How do they all end up with that same exact amount of unburnt rubber from here to here, and the rest of the tire completely gone the rest of the way around? That inconsistent burn right there tells me plasma fire, and the fact that the rest of these cords have no rubber left on them. The ones that did burn, burned to 100%. These cords, that ain't how fires normally burn tires. They don't reduce it to cords with zero rubber. So, you're gonna see a lot of these, and I'm already seeing the signs, the overhead billboard, electronic billboards that say, truck drivers, check your brakes, don't drag chains, low tires can cause fires. And the heat signature that goes out into the road right there, clear out past the middle lane, is probably another good indicator. And this melted glass, I don't know what temperature glass melts at, but I remember that being as one of the indicators that regular forest fires, house fires, or car fires don't reach temperatures high enough to melt glass. Now, I'm sure there's different types of glass, and you'll be able to find exceptions to the rule, but the overall point I'm making still stands firm, that you're gonna see a lot of these fires, and you're gonna hear every cover story under the sun as to what it is and why. And each one will have a different, unique explanation, unconnected to all the rest. But yeah, I'd say that melted glass, that's kind of a pretty good indicator this was plasma fire as well. Wouldn't you say? Most people, no, I wouldn't admit that. I'm gonna look for a reason why I can explain that away under normal circumstances and fit it within the bookends of my known reality. For those of us been doing this for a while, that's not our standard response to stuff like this anymore. Another little piece of melted glass. I might take me some of this home with me. Guess I'll just take that glob. All right, prepare to see more of these carbecues everywhere you go. And remember, whatever bullshit story they give you, you know the truth. That's what time it is.